Imagine a world where your phone never dies, powered by nothing more than your touch. No more scrambling for chargers. No more battery anxiety. This isn't science fiction anymore. We're diving deep into the groundbreaking technology that could make your very own skin the ultimate power source for your next smartphone, fundamentally changing how we interact with our devices forever. Think about it. How many times a day do you check your phone, tap the screen, or just hold it in your hand? Each of those actions, right now, just consumes battery. But what if they did the opposite? What if every swipe, every tap, every single moment you held your device, you were actually charging it? This is the impossible dream we're exploring today. A phone powered by you. Let's be real. The current situation is a constant struggle. We're all part of the 1% club, not the wealthy kind, but the kind staring at a 1% battery warning, desperately searching for an outlet. Our lives are dictated by the length of a charging cable. Our bags are cluttered with power banks. We've built our modern world around these amazing devices, but we've tethered ourselves to the wall to keep them alive. But what if we could cut that cord for good? Imagine a world where your phone fuels itself, simply by existing in your hand. How could this even be real? The answer lies in some truly fascinating science. So, how do we turn a simple touch into electricity? It's not magic. It's physics. The first key principle is called the piezoelectric effect. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Certain materials, like specific crystals and ceramics, have a unique property. When you squeeze them or put pressure on them, they generate a tiny electrical charge. Every time you tap your phone screen or grip the sides, you're applying mechanical pressure. If parts of your phone were made from piezoelectric materials, each tap would create a small jolt of electricity, which could then be stored in the battery. It's like a tiny, invisible generator powered by your fingers. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. Our bodies are also constantly generating heat. The average human body is at toasty 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, while the air around us is usually cooler. This temperature difference is a potential gold mine of energy. This is where thermoelectric generators, or TEGs, come in. These devices are designed to convert a temperature gradient difference in heat directly into electrical voltage. If the back of your phone were equipped with a tag, the heat from your palm could be continuously harvested and converted into power. You'd literally be charging your phone just by holding it. Now for the really cutting-edge stuff. Triboelectric nanogenerators, or 10Gs, for short. This is where the science gets incredibly exciting. The triboelectric effect is the same static electricity you get from rubbing a balloon on your hair. It's all about friction. TNGs are made from layers of different materials that, when they touch or slide against each other, transfer electrons and create an electrical charge. Researchers are developing ultra-thin, flexible TNGs that could be integrated into a phone's screen or case. Every swipe, every tap, every tiny movement of the phone in your pocket would generate power. It's the ultimate form of energy harvesting, turning everyday friction into a constant trickle of usable electricity. This all sounds amazing in theory, but is anyone actually building this? The answer is a resounding yes. Around the world, in advanced research labs, scientists are already creating proof-concept devices. We're not talking about powering a whole smartphone yet, but they have made incredible progress. We've seen prototypes of flexible patches that, when tapped, can light up a small grid of electricity. There are experimental screens that generate their own power when you type on them. These early breakthroughs prove that the fundamental science works. The challenge is no longer if it's possible, but how we can make it powerful enough. A huge part of this race is about materials science, innovation. Scientists are on a global hunt for the perfect materials. They need to be incredibly efficient at converting pressure, heat, or friction into electricity. But they also need to be transparent for screens, flexible for cases, and durable enough to survive years of being dropped, tapped, and shoved into pockets. They're experimenting with everything from advanced polymers and graphene to specialized ceramics. Of course, one of the biggest hurdles is miniaturization. It's one thing to build a large lab device that generates a bit of power. It's another thing entirely to shrink that technology down to a microscopic scale and fit it seamlessly inside the sleek, ultra-thin body of a modern smartphone, without adding bulk or compromising on design. This is where nanotechnology and advanced manufacturing techniques are becoming crucial. So, with all this progress, why don't we have touch-powered phones in our pockets right now? Let's get real about the roadblocks. The single biggest challenge is power output. Currently, the amount of energy generated from a single tap or from body heat is very, very low. It's measured in microwatts or powering a small LED or a low-power sensor is one thing, but a modern smartphone with its bright screen, powerful processor, and constant connectivity is a power-hungry beast that consumes watts of power. We need an improvement of several orders of magnitude to make a phone run on touch alone. Then there's the issue of durability and integration. How do you build a phone with these sensitive energy harvesting layers that can withstand the abuse of daily life? These materials need to be robust, and how do they integrate with all the other components? You can't just glue a piezoelectric layer onto a battery. It requires a complete redesign of the phone's internal architecture, from the circuitry to the power management system. And finally, there's the unavoidable question of cost. Right now, the advanced materials and manufacturing processes needed for this technology are incredibly expensive. For a touch-powered phone to become a reality for everyone, the cost needs to come down dramatically. Manufacturers need to be able to produce these components at a massive scale without making the final product unaffordable for the average person. So, when can you actually expect to hold one of these in your hand? Let's look at a realistic timeline. Don't expect to throw away your charger next year. Most experts predict we are still about a decade away, maybe towards the early 2030s, before we see a phone that could potentially sustain itself purely on harvested energy. But we will see the beginnings of this technology much sooner. The most likely first step is a hybrid approach. Your next phone, or the one after that, might not be fully self-powered, but it could use these technologies to supplement the main battery. Imagine a phone that uses touch and body heat to constantly trickle charge the battery throughout the day. It wouldn't replace charging, but it could extend your battery life by 20, 30, or even 50%. Instead of your phone dying in the evening, it might last well into the next day. That alone would be a game changer for most of us. But the true revolution of this technology goes far beyond just our phones. Think about it. Wearable tech like smartwatches and fitness trackers are perfect candidates. They require less power and are in constant contact with our skin. Imagine a smartwatch that never needs to be taken off to charge. Consider medical devices. A self-powered pacemaker that runs on the patient's own heartbeat, eliminating the need for risky replacement surgeries. Or smart bandages that monitor wounds and power themselves through the patient's body heat. And then there's the Internet of Things, or IoT, a future filled with billions of tiny, interconnected sensors in our homes, cities, and environment. How do you power all of them? Replacing billions of tiny batteries is a logistical and environmental nightmare. But self-powered sensors that draw energy from vibrations, temperature changes, or ambient movement, that's a sustainable future. The quest for a self-charging phone is the flagship project, the one that captures our imagination. But the underlying technologies being developed will spark a much broader energy revolution. We are on the cusp of an era of energy harvesting, where our own bodies and the environment around us become the power source. A future where our technology is not just smart, but truly symbiotic. The day is coming when your phone will be more than just a tool in your hand. It will be a part of you, powered by your very existence. Thanks for watching. What do you think about this technology? Would you want a phone that charges with your touch? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this glimpse into the future, do you not forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the tech that will shape our world. See you next time.